Guys, what is up? Pilot Manny here with the RC Plane Addict. I want to welcome you to my channel, a place where I get to share my passion and addiction for flying these beautiful RC planes. So welcome back. Today is going to be part 2 of foam board airplanes for beginners. Now, if you saw my last video, you saw that I was flying the Flight Test Simple Cub, and that is a wonderful beginner plane. It is such a docile plane. I was flying it on a modified wing, but with that Armin wing that you fly it with, it's even gentler, if you could believe it. It just doesn't have the speed or the, I guess, roll ability that KFM wing has. The KFM wing that I'm using is symmetrical, so that means it has a step on the top and on the bottom, which makes it, I guess, a little bit more acrobatic, even though it is not an acrobatic plane. So don't think you're gonna get the Simple Cub and you're gonna be ready for 3D flight. That is not what it's about. It's just about getting out there and having fun. All right, so if you saw my first video and you're still not sold on this hobby, because who wants to build a simple flight test Cub plane? I mean, that's so boring, right? High wing, easy peasy. You can also build jets. Check this one out. This is pretty cool. All right, what you were looking at is my MF-22. This is a prop and slot plane. It's like a pusher, except a pusher is pushing towards the back as opposed to a tractor style plane where it's actually in the front of the plane and it's pulling the plane. This is more like centered. So true pushers, you will find this like literally all the way in the back of the plane. This is kind of like in the middle, which I love because when it's flying, you can't see it and it actually looks like a real jet, even though it's not an EDF or a turbine. It is just a simply, I guess, prop and slot kind of plane where you have, again, everything in the middle of the plane. And again, this is all foam board. There's nothing special about it. I didn't have to buy any wood or anything special to make this plane. It's basically the same kind of build style as this. And using, again, the same materials. I have treated my foam board with polyurethane, and I use like this wrapping tape here just to kind of get that slick black look for the hatch. I kind of had to modify a few things, but you know, that's the hobby. Velcro holding everything down. There's all the electronics, and I'm just using a 3-cell. What you see there is an adapter. I definitely need to cover that exposed wire there. Not a good thing. And in this one, I have the Admiral Stability Plus. So the last time we met, I spoke to you about the receivers with the built-in gyros. This is it. This is a very inexpensive receiver and it's very solid. I have them in a lot of my planes and honestly, I love it. It is a good option or alternative to using the Spektrum receivers, which tend to be a little pricey. So with that being said, let's get this bad boy up in the air and hopefully this one will fill you with adrenaline. All right, 5 minutes and 10 seconds on this one. And I think I'm going to use a brand new Liperior battery that I got from rcbattery.com. I've been slowly moving over to these batteries and I gotta be honest, I'm pretty happy. Thus far, I've only flown 6 cells. This is a 3-cell and you know, it's slightly bigger than my other one, if not probably the same size. The only real difference is this end here. This is an XT60 and I had to build this adapter from my T, which honestly I need to completely remove and just finally make an XT60. But let me get some Velcro on this and get this bad boy in the air. All right, pre-flight looks good. One thing you should know about this plane is because of its long stretch on the elevator here, I had to actually tie in 2 servos to kind of control each side on a Y, or excuse me, they're not on a Y, they're on separate channels, and I did some mixing so that now they move together because they're not reversed, and that's how I control my elevator, and it seems to be working pretty good so far. All right, let's dust her off and send her up. Also, no landing gear, guys, belly lander, which is great for grass fields. Let's do it. So the gyro on this plane is really only working the ailerons. There's no wind, so I'm gonna kind of keep it off. But normally I would have it on the elevator. However, the elevator is on 2 different channels, so you can't do mixing with your gyro, unfortunately. But you know what? With this plane, it's all good. All right, so I'm gonna grab it by the wing here, and I'm just gonna kind of hand over it and send it.
Throttle cut. Throttle cut off.
Going up. So this is a true bank and yank plane. which means I am not using any rudder to help me with my coordinated turns. I'm kind of pulling to one direction, and then I am letting her pull into the turn with my elevator. So this is, again, a little bit easier for a beginner if you're worried about, you know, coordinating all these sticks. It's plain simple. So as you can see, she flies pretty good at about half throttle. And really good slow too. And if you want to rip, let her rip. Vertical on this plane is amazing too. Nice glide. Roll rate is pretty good on this plane too. You could do rolls, you could do loops, anything you want with this guy. Ton of fun. Loving it. And there's plenty of elevator to hold inverted. I gotta tell you, I'm loving these Lightperia batteries. They are strong. Around for another high speed. The only thing about these proppant slots is the noise. They are definitely much noisier for an electric plane, and it has to do with that clap against the side. If you see pushers, they're allowed to because they have smaller propellers, which means they're turning faster. But just inherently, when you have that slot, it's going to make it so much louder. So make sure you fly these in places people aren't going to mind the noise. Because they tend to be a little noisier, sort of like on the gasser kind of side. Nice and slow for you guys. Nice and slow. Little high alpha to kind of hold its attitude. And she picks right up. Love this plane. Try to keep it close for us so we can see it better. Get into some steep turns. Fully controllable. Now the wing on this is actually an arm and wing style. So it's got a very, very stable performance in the air. So for beginners, this is really good. And this is just the stock system they call for. So as you can see, it's got plenty of power to get you out of trouble if you need it. Let's do some crazy with it. Ready? You do nice barrel rolls with it. You can do anything you like. Who needs a rudder? Who needs landing gear? Get yourself a full board plane, have fun. No cares in the world. This is another oldie but goodie. I've actually had this plane for a really long time, probably another 5 years. I want to say it's almost as old as the Cub, if not older. And they take a beating, let me tell you. These planes take a beating. Nice long, big long loop. or I'll roll for you guys. Give you a nice loop here. I know I'm going a little crazy with this thing. I love going slow with it though. Look at that. Nice. All right, let's bring it around for a landing and check the battery. This is the first cycle on this Hyperior. I don't want to kind of use it up too aggressively. And we'll just glide her in. And there it is. It was getting easier than that. Whew. Fun plane. Crazy to believe that this thing is being held on by hot glue. Also, I kind of taped the bottom here. It helps with the grass instead of just having exposed foam board. So it's the same kind of tape that's here on the cover. All right, we're gonna check the battery on this. It looked like we had not even started the timer. That's not good. Oh boy. It's weird that the timer didn't start. I'll have to look into that on my settings. Sure, we'll be all right. Oh, here we go. Can't find the battery checker. 33%. Perfect. Good thing I have a good internal clock. All right, guys. Well, that's it. There is the flight on the F-22. Excuse me, the MF-22. I'll put the link in the description below where you can download your plans and you can scratch build it yourself if you feel like doing so. I'm not certain if the group is still being funded and putting out these planes. And believe it or not, that plane was designed by a high schooler. So big props to that group because that is sick. That plane is amazing. It's everything I wanted when I got into like foam board flying, you know, because I didn't want to invest in the jets that I was afraid of crashing. And this is, I think, the second or third one that I've built, you know, and they come together over a few nights. I kind of do everything from printed, so it takes me a little bit longer, but you know, if you buy the everything printed already and cut, and all you have to do is bend and glue, you're going to be at it for maybe one night and you're going to be ready to be flying the next day. So, you know, food for thought. Anyways, I hope this turns you on to flying. It's definitely a great way to get into the hobby without fear of losing a lot of money or investment, and then also just learning and having fun. Anyways, please give me your comments, your questions in the comments, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Support the channel so I can keep putting out these crazy videos, and hit that bell so you know what I'm posting. Hopefully every Friday. Try my best. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.